Here we have a wombat hole. It's about a foot by a foot. Quite a big animal, quite sort of docile. Pretty neat to see them walking around. And here's another one. Oh, I just stood in some of the poo. There's some of the poo there. Quite square shaped. They've got a bit of a square butthole. Quite unique. Anyone that can do a square shape, oh, it's quite unique. Oh, this might be, that might be a wombat skull. But anyway, the reason I'm showing you these is in long grass around the lakes, there's heaps of them. And it's so easy to fall down them and break your leg. And probably more dangerous, these holes, than snakes. So, not too sure if they live in a family. I'm going to find that out. But kind of like giant rabbit warren it is. It's like wombat ship down, you know, or water ship down, the rabbit one. So maybe they should make a wombat ship down. But anyway, these ones are easy to see, but you just got to watch the old foot doesn't go in there and twist. I've already fallen down a few, but still got the legs, are still working. Left one's a bit buggered, but I'll deal with that. Okay, there you go. Tip of the day: don't fall down a wombat hole. It's very easy, and it's very easy to break your leg. Thanks for watching from Tasmania. Over and out. Adios. Just thought I would show you this little feeder stream. There's heaps of these little feeder streams coming into these lakes. And it's probably at some places a metre wide to 2 metres wide. And they're so deceiving. They catch me out every time. And just to warn you how deep they can get. As you can see, I've sunk right down. Both feet are stuck. The crown jewels are just and no more above the water. It's going to be a cold early start to the morning. I've only got a metre to go there. I've thrown my rod across. And I thought this was a narrow, safe part. And it's, as you can see, again. Well, I finally got out of that small stream, and this is what usually things look like once you get out. I've got the gaiters on there. Got a hole there that helps let some water out, so I say. And these gaiters help keep the mud out a little bit. Well, they're meant to. Hopefully they stop any snake bites and any leeches. I do remember the last time, all those years ago when I was here, I was in a place, well, I've still got to find it again. It's not up in this area, it's somewhere else. And there was lots of leeches. And I actually got one right in the end of my willy. It was unbelievable. It wasn't a thrill either, but it was a memory. Thanks for watching. From Tasmania, there's more coming. Yeah, I'm back again. It's been a bit of a tough day. I've driven X amount of kilometres, walked heaps, visited 4 different waterways, and only saw that one fish earlier this morning. The clouds came as predicted, and 70% cloud cover, so you just need one little bit of cloud and you cannot see into this water. And if there's no fish rising, it's pretty hopeless. I thought I had my lucky shirt on. Obviously that's not as lucky as I hoped. So glasses. Everyone's asking me about glasses, and I'm trying to help some people. I was selling titanium Polaroid glasses Yellow lens, yellow, or amber lens, you know, call it what you want, but get that yellowish coloured lens. So I was selling them for like $15. You can buy them for hundreds. You can buy prescription ones. I've tried heaps. These ones here, don't know if you could see there. That's the colour you want. I've been trying to help some people, and they've been sold some expensive smoked coloured glass, an Australian brand, which is, you know, it's not right. They should be selling them the correct colour. But anyway, that's the colour you want. These just so happen to be whatever brand that is. And they're called Bloke BLK 124. That's the colour you want. And you can see in there, I've got magnifying glasses because I'm an old bugger. And I struggle to see things to tie on. So I've got these things called hydro tack. You can cut them to suit. And I've got to look over them, but I'm used to it. But they're nice and big and wide and deep. So I've cut them so they're not actually interfering with my eyesight when I'm walking. And they're brilliant. But you've got to put them on when the glasses are new, or you're probably going to lose a couple of pairs when you first learn how to put them on. Hydro tack, yellow lenses. That's what you want if you want to catch fish and sight fish. I've tried everything. Yellow lenses, even in the salt. You start sight fishing in the salt, that's the colour. I've watched all the guys change. That's the colour they go for. Deep water, bit darker, but this is the main colour. You're never always going to get perfect days. Overcast days, there you go. That's my tip for today. Love you and leave you from Tasmania. Stunning morning. There's been a few days where it's been so windy. And last night was absolutely freezing in the car. I had to sleep with my gloves and hat on. But it wasn't minus for a change. And it was worth it. Today's stunning. I'm walking over here to a lake over there. Lake K. Never been there before. I'm following this track. You can... Oh. There you go. So this place is full of skeletons of dead animals. Nothing's been poisoned. It's quite an amazing place. Everything seems to die of old age. Wow, if my dog was here, Trigger would have a ball chewing these. There we go. There's a skull. Skull of something. I'm not too sure what. It's either wallaby or wombat. I've still got to figure these things out. But there's a car already parked. There's other people fishing. If I see them, I'll just go around the other side. But ideally, I want the sun behind me. And hopefully they don't get upset that I'm going to go and fish there, because there's plenty of water. They go around one side, I'll go around the other, or I'll fish behind them. Unlike the rivers, the fish in the lakes, they've got to swim around. It's not really a fish jail as such, because the fish can leave these lakes to other lagoons and lakes. They're all connected. It's quite amazing. Anyway, love you and leave you from Tasmania. I've only got a few hours before the clouds come. That's why I'm out early. And then I'll be writing Wandering Trout, the book you'll love. Well, I didn't do very well on Lake K. I saw one little fish and it saw me and skedaddled. Didn't see any rising, nothing happening at all. And the gentleman at the other side must have went somewhere else. I saw his figure disappearing in the distance, so he knows where he's going. It's definitely a gentleman, because when I got back to the car, I looked inside his vehicle and there was an empty cigar packet and an empty beer bottle. So I take it that's a male, or it could be a pretty hot female. Who knows? But I've given up and I've gone somewhere else. And one of the reasons I did go to Lake K is I love names, and the name K That's Pricey's wife, and it's a lady that I met and taught to fly cast up in Cape York when I worked up there once for a season. And she was a teacher at the local school. There was an Aborigine community there, and the Aborigine kids one time beat the living crap out of her, black and blue, and which was a shame. And she had to leave, so a bit of a tribute to the UK. If you're watching this, you're a legend, and just shows you teachers sometimes don't get it easy at all. So respect to all the teachers out there. Anyway, and I also just met another couple. They parked there. They asked me how it was. I told them it was, I didn't find it any good, Lake K. But what do I know? I'm not from here. They're locals, so they're going down there. Obviously, they think I know jack shit, and they're probably right. Thanks for watching. Love you all. Thanks for your support. Here I am today. It's nearly midday, and I'm on a lake called Lake Fergus. There's a couple of other people fishing down there, and they've got some American style drift boats. I think they're just leaving. Just got here and at this little hut, Lake Fergus hut. I just opened the door a second ago. As you can see, Lake Fergus. So I can spend the night here if I want. Yeah, a couple of frying pans. I just love old huts. This is so cool. Yeah, brilliant. A little bit of poo on the floor. A little bit of poo on that seat. And obviously some swallows. I've made a nest there. I presume that's swallows and not house martins. Bit of graffiti that I'm gonna read in a minute. You know, some graffiti's pretty cool to read. Bit of insulation. And yeah. Oh, there's a pair of old waders on the back of the door. So this is Lake Fergus, and I'm going to go down there and slay them. I'm going to come back here tonight. I'm going to be stinking a trout juice. That's right. I'm going to own it today, definitely. Or maybe I'll catch nothing. There's a high chance of that as well. But I did see a couple of rises. Fingers crossed. Good morning. I'm speaking quietly here because everybody's sleeping. And I'm here in Miena. And I've been lucky enough to have a nice warm shower and be put up in this cabin. And just down there, you can see one of the locals, a wallaby, there. And this little town's a real fishy town. There's lots of little, they call little cabins, batches everywhere. And that's the Great Lake over there. And everyone just has got boats here, everyone fishes. The town goes right over that hillside. And most mornings, 3 o'clock in the morning onwards, there's people out there in their boats, midging at this time of year, especially if it's quiet. But another interesting thing is this book, Chris Hull, Heaven on a Stick. I've just found it, and there's some interesting stuff in here. It's a fantastic book, amazing artwork, and he's fished all over the world. But there's a bit in here, it tells you about the Mataura River, 1989, he fished it. And what I found interesting was, he says, it is not an easy river. The trout are fussy and well educated. exactly the right nymph or dry fly has to be chosen and presented accurately to get a response. And that's from 1989. And yet nowadays we're all saying, oh, there's too much fishing, the fish are too pressured, they're too hard to catch. And yet there we were, 1989, hardly anyone around, and they were still hard to catch. That makes me smile, because that's fishing. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.